Welcome, Virgos, to your uplifting messages. So, here's a disclaimer. I have drunk or I have partake in some alcohol before this. So, you have to go with the flow with this one and still use your own intuition, okay? So, the heart of the matter is the Queen of Swords. So, the Queen of Swords energy is usually about the widower, is usually about the one that's been broken off with, but at this time she needs to make a decision about killing things off, about quitting something, or about letting go of an energy. And as you can see, there is three type of colors here. You see the white, you see the black, you see the yellow energy. And with this yellow, I feel like it's about living your best life, but with the black as the clouds and also as protection, there is a sense of needing to somehow act out how you want to feel or act out a certain type of mask. So the mask is wanting to hide out what you feel you should act out. So, for example, you're waking up in the morning, you're not feeling the way that you should feel, and you still have to go to the supermarket. So there's a sense of going to the supermarket, needing a specific item, and when you get there, even though it seems to have been on sale, even though it was advertised as being um, the item that's been hot on the market, there's a sense of that item not being available at this time, okay? And having to ask for help. Now, there's a sense that the Queen of Swords may not be in the mindset of wanting to ask people for help or having to talk to people at this time. But if you ain't about if you're not able to find something and you really want it, then you have to dig for it, and then you're gonna have to ask for help, okay? But also there's this item of having this cape of protection, okay? Cape of protection, or maybe it's just an item that you decided to wear on that day, and it's supposed to tell you something about yourself, or it's just supposed to tell you what's going on that day, because sometimes what you're wearing is supposed to give you answers about your life, but sometimes it's just supposed to tell you how you feel, okay? So that's the heart of the matter. You're not feeling your best. You're not, I mean, the Queen of Swords is not feeling your best, but at the same time, in a positive aspect of things, there's this YOLO energy, is living your best life, okay? And as you can see with the sword energy, you don't see the tip of that sword. So where is it landing? Where is it, forwarding? Forwarding, I don't think that's the appropriate. Where is it facing toward, or where is it focusing on? I feel like there's a lack of focus in this energy, just like what I've told you before, okay? So again, the Queen of Sword energy is also about the widower, okay? So someone that has lost a person, you can't really take their energy as is, right? Like if you've lost a person, you're not feeling the best. You're not feeling generous. You're feeling dried as fuck. You feel like you need to keep your cards close to your chest. You need to feel like you're feeling like you need to keep your cards close to your chest. You don't feel like really adventuring into speaking out your mind and everything, but sometimes you could be triggered into saying everything that needs to be said, okay? And in that sense, with the full energy and the focus energy, it feels like sometimes you could say whatever that comes up to your mind and you don't really give a fuck. Because I feel like this is an Aquarius energy, right? So I feel like there's something that's gonna happen where you're not gonna give a fuck anymore. You're just gonna let your freak flag fly, whether people like it or not. And if people like it, that there's that. And if they don't, there is that also. Anyways, so the heart of the matter is related to the Ten of Pentacles. So this could be related to a funeral. This could be related again to letting go of a relationship. This could be related to having to face people from your family or your husband's family or your wife's family or daughter's family, whomever. Like, I feel like you need to put on a brave face when you just want to curse everybody out. They took your man away. They took your wife away. They took your daughter away. They took your son away. They took your friend away. You have a whole lot of baggage. There's a whole lot of feelings. There's a whole lot of emotions that's included into whatever you're feeling. And there's a sense of having to deal with the responsibilities of that, like the funerals, the details of the funerals, having to invite a whole bunch of people where you're not willing to take part of. And if you haven't seen said family or said friend, I feel like there's a sense where you're willing to just let go, willing not to invite people at all costs. And that's because of the past with the Four Cups energy, right? There's a sense where you remember when some people were invited to parties, or some people were invited to some type of family function or anything, and they said no and you didn't know why. Or even though you did know why and you kind of wanted to patch things up, it didn't go the way that you thought it would, right? And you're kind of taking it, I don't know if it's about taking certain things, you feel like these people are taking things for granted, or you feel like they're taking life for granted because now you're facing death in that kind of way. But at the same time, you feel like you're facing certain types of challenges in your life and you're not willing for people to come and intervene or just say whatever they have to say, or put too much stock in whatever they have to say because you feel like they want to take too much space in your life or in someone's life, especially if they're not there anymore. You feel like it doesn't make sense. It has no practical value to what I'm trying to achieve here. Anyways, however, the positive aspect is the Emperor energy. So I feel like there's a sense of big dick energy here. Hopefully I'm saying it properly. Or big man energy, but the Emperor is no small joke. Like, this is an energy of dominance. This is an energy of taking over the world or taking over whatever area that they want to take over. Like, he's opening up his legs and he's willing to take control. I don't know if this is you at this time that's not giving a fuck about what anybody else has to say, whatever their opinion is about, or is about whomever you were dealing with, wherever, if ever they are dying or if ever they are leaving your life at this time, okay? But I feel like at this time, this could be someone that's just leaving your life, because the world is about a new chapter, a new life, but it could also about you here. Some of you are waiting for this Emperor energy to come through. This could be an end of a relationship as well. Something else is coming through. You're wondering, what are you holding in your hands at this time? You're wondering what's keeping you. Some of you are feeling like someone is coming into your life, but you don't know who. And you feel like you are being woken up at night because of that shit. Like, it's that strong. The energy is that powerful. That connection is that powerful, where you are being waken up at night because that energy or that person has so much hold on you in your past and also in your upcoming future, and you haven't met them yet, right? Because I don't know, they're ushering in a new life. They are ushering in a new chapter, a new book. But they have a whole lot of effect in maybe the way you see the world. The only issue is that you're not sure how to take this person. You're not sure what do they, how do they stand, what do they stand on? Or how do they stand on? Or what's their purpose in life? I feel like that's what it is. There's a sense of not understanding their purpose in this life. Even though you feel like this person has gone through a whole lot, you don't really know what they're about in reality. And what's clarifying that shit is the Two of Pentacles. This person you feel like even though this person has gone through a whole lot, you feel like you understand the aspect of having to reimagine themselves. They had to realize themselves, rebirth themselves into something that makes sense to other people or to themselves. And because of that, it seems confusing, because we do have the Ankh energy, the creation, which is the vagina, and the dick energy. That's the most simplifying way to say it, where someone feels comfortable as it is, but there's a sense where someone feels like another person is not as comfortable in amplifying that energy of creation. They don't feel uncomfortable. They feel like they have to play second fiddle to their relationship in whichever way that they need to do it, right? So again, Virgos, the advice is the Page of Pentacles, right? So there's a sense of I want to say not reading too much into this person at this time, but I feel like you need to appreciate who they are as they are, because they put in so much work, and there's a sense of needing to love them. There's a sense to need to love them as they are, because they put in the effort, and they're coming up being into something that's truly real, and they can really stand on their own 2 feet. They can stand on their own 2 feet in something that's realistic to them. Okay? But there's a sense of, like there's two sides to a story, there's two sides to a person, there's two sides to a situation, and there is a negative side to it. There's a negative side to it. There's not an ideal side to it, but I feel like you need to hold on to this person in a way that's value. You need to see their value, because they've worked so hard. They've worked so hard or so much into it, and they deserve that type of praise, right? And what's clarifying that is the Three of Cups, which is talking about being someone's cheerleader. But there's this energy of going with the flow too. I don't know if it's going with the flow means you are ignoring certain negative aspect of someone, or ignoring negative aspect of your own self at that time. There's a sense that there's a two-way energy. There's a two-way energy aspect of it, where you are ignoring your own flaws as you are ignoring someone's flaws. There's a sense of compromise. I feel like there's a sense of compromise, because there is a big transformation, a big transmutation that's going to happen where this person is definitely going to become the Emperor energy, where you're going to be amazed, enthralled, intrigued. But at the same time, it's going to allow you to take center stage into your own life. And therefore, you won't have to worry about what this person thinks about them. I feel like you worry a whole lot about what this person thinks about their own selves. It's cute. It's beautiful. It's sweet to be in that supporting, to be in that supporting stage. But at the same time, I feel like it's time for you to take control over your own life. Okay? So, Virgo, thank you.